Well, here's a question that may have occurred to you at home. Has President Obama pushed the envelope of executive power to its limit? He's vowed to sidestep Congress to pass his 2014 agenda. Watch.
I'm eager to work with all of you. But America does not stand still, and neither will I. So wherever and whenever I can take steps without legislation to expand opportunity for more American families, that's what I'm going to do.
But what does that precisely mean? What exactly is the president doing, and does he have the authority to do it? Well, here to tell us is Elizabeth Foley. She's professor of constitutional law at Florida International University. Elizabeth, thanks a lot for joining us this morning. So what is the president attempting to do unilaterally without Congress?
Well, he's trying to do a lot of things unilaterally without Congress. And let me just say at the beginning, a lot of people say, well, President Obama is only issuing so many number of executive orders, and that's a lot less than his predecessors have. And I have to say, this is not about quantity. There are a lot of executive orders that are perfectly constitutional. This is about the quality of the executive orders and what exactly he's trying to do.
So let's start with the Obamacare delays. So Obamacare passes 3.5 years ago. It's unpopular, and the White House basically says to favored constituencies, you're not subject to it for now. Is that constitutional?
No, absolutely not. There's several provisions of Obamacare that were supposed to take effect on January 1, 2014. The employer mandate, certain limits on out-of-pocket caps and the like. And with the stroke President Obama says, no, I think I'll delay that for a year. But, why 1 year? Maybe another year the following year, or 5 years. The interesting thing here is, he's directly contravening a law that says these things are supposed to take effect on January 1, 2014. Interestingly here, too, the Republicans in the House tried to get a 1-year delay of Obamacare and part of its spending measure. That went over to the Senate and quickly died because the president didn't want to delay it at that time, at least legislatively. So he doesn't want to amend the laws in the normal ways through Congress. He simply wants to change them himself unilaterally.
So extending Obamacare benefits and penalties to the federal exchanges also unconstitutional, you think?
Absolutely unconstitutional. Law is crystal clear on this, that the only people who qualify for these tax credits are people who live in states that run their own Obamacare exchanges. And it turns out that, Congress did that very purposefully. They wanted to encourage states to run their exchanges. They didn't want to have to rely on some sort of monolithic, healthcare gov, which is what we ended up with. So when it turned out that most of the states, about 35 of them, decided not to run their state exchanges, President Obama sort of got out his magisterial wand again and wrote an IRS regulation that said anybody can now qualify for these tax credits, even those who get their health insurance through the federal exchanges. Again, a direct contravention of the written law.
Yes. And as part of his never-ending pander to demographics he believes he needs for the election of Democrats, he just flat out suspended immigration law for dreamers, people to whom the DREAM Act applies.
Yeah, this is a really bad one because, Congress has been debating for a while comprehensive immigration reform and whether or not we ought to be granting some sort of amnesty, especially to these young people who were brought to this country illegally, and whether or not, on the merits we should do that. That's up for Congress to decide. The president got impatient here, and he decided to suspend our Immigration and Nationality Act, which says if you're brought here illegally, you shall be deportable. He decided, no, he's not going to do that. He's going to suspend the law for an entire class of people. That's patently unconstitutional.
It's remarkable to me that Congress just sits back and takes this as he usurps their constitutionally given authority. Pretty unbelievable. Elizabeth, thanks a lot for joining us this morning. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Tucker.
Well, he